Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hope I'm audible. So I'll open the chat box 1 second.
You're audible. Good evening, sir.
Okay, you guys will open that. Yeah. Yeah, Vidhi, you wanted to ask something, Vidhi? Vidhi, you want to ask something? Okay, fine. You can unmute if you want. Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So thank you all for joining. So today, as I said, no, we'll move one step ahead. Now we will only talk about equity as of now. I don't want to go into equity, debt, because in the book, many things are jumbled up. Some things are written on the first page, some things are written on the last page, some things are in between. So we'll just talk about equity markets. Equity. It is like raising funds. Equity is nothing but we raise funds. There are two types of people. One is our equity common shareholders. One is our preference shareholders. We have decided preference shareholders have two parts, that is debt and that is equity. Means it has a fixed amount of dividend payments, plus it has the benefit of preference shares as well. While finding EPS, we only take about profit available with shareholders. We don't take and when we divide it, we take number of common shareholders. Okay. Okay, now there was one part in this I will just like to add it. It is not also the number of common shareholders, it is the weighted average. Sorry. It is the weighted average number of common equity shareholders. Now, what does it mean? Now, one of the important part that many analysts forget this, or maybe many people, many students forget this, that I've weighted average, because we are so much into learning formulas. EPS is profit by number of shares. It is okay. You say such things when you are at a different level. But at the fresher level, you cannot just say like that, because even in the interview, if you say like that, an experienced guy like me will unnecessarily poke you on things like this because you have given that answer so quickly. I'm not saying that you should give it very late. You have to give it, but you have to be, I will say, you have to answer it in a quite understandable or elaborated way. So today in the morning, in our interview preparation also, we were said that when the questions were asked in HR, you have to normalize it, or I will, stretch the answer in such a way, stretch as in not from, English point of view, from a finance point of view. So be specific, which profits are profit available with equity shareholders, with common equity shareholders, divided by weighted average number of shares. Now, what is that weighted average number of shares? Okay, in this example, we had 50,000 of shares, okay, equity share capital. So now, see what I tell you. This preference shares, okay, let us say there is new amount of shares which was issued, okay, 50,000, okay, this is here, but let's say somewhere, let's say we'll talk about July, okay, July 1, 1st July, okay, 5,000 shares were issued, okay, newly issued shares, okay, I will say July, let's say we are in 2025, okay, 1st July 2025, which financial year, guys, which financial year? Which financial year? 25, 26. Okay. This is also, we are saying this is as per 25, 26. Okay. So we usually say F5, 26. We don't say 25, 26. We say financial year 26. Okay. So now, assuming we have issued shares. Now, how much shares are there outstanding? This 5,000 were 50,000 were there, which was issued on 1st April. Okay. How much shares are total number of shares available? 50,000 plus, can I say this 5,000? So total number of shares, right? Total number of shares. Okay, I will link it over here. This is new issued. Just this number of shares. I'm just linking it. So now the total number of shares, probably correct. The total number of shares outstanding is 55,000. But was this issued on 1st? This was issued on 1st April. So 3 months there is a gap. Whenever we make annual report, it is all on a yearly basis, full year basis. Now, if this is 50,000 was issued on 1st July. So how many months it was not issued? 3 months it was not issued. Yeah, correct. 75. Okay, rather than saying 75, I would say 3 months it was not issued. So how many months it was outstanding? I said 9 months. 9 by 12. So the outstanding shares is basically 50,000 into, so now total number of shares is not 50,000, it is 50,000 plus 3,750. Okay, 53,750 number of shares which are issued. Okay, so weighted average number of, that is what it says, weighted average number of shares. Acha, what if this was issued on 1st August? Now, it was issued on 1st August. Now, what should I take? How many months is outstanding? Acha, so should you count August as well, or you should start from September? Should we count August or should we start from September? So what if I say something like this, 31st August? Now how many? Now it is 7. Okay, we start from September. Okay, because August is done. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That is 7. So ye say, yeah, just remember this 8 by 12. Okay, now this is weighted average number of. Now reason for telling this is very basic. But those who don't know, just understand the outstanding from where it is. Okay, so that is why don't forget कि वो 3 लेना चाहिए, 3. We have to take 3. Sorry, we have to take the remaining part or take the previous. It is like percentage. Outstanding. How many months it is outstanding out of 12? So you count it. Okay. So now the question comes. No, so usually Rahul, it might be 31st or 1st. Okay. So 31st August, obviously it means it is, September. Okay. And 1st August, obviously it means you have to also take the August. It will never be like between 15 August. Might not be like that. Okay. Usually don't get like that difficult, but this you get 31st August. People usually take August as well. So you don't have to take August. It will start from September. So that was the only thing that I wanted to highlight it. Okay. So now, okay, the total number of shares are 53,000. Now see what I tell you. So what will be the EPS? New EPS will be a new EPS. Can I say our profit for common shareholders were 9,80,000? Like yesterday we did, divide by 53,000. Okay, that is new EPS is 18.2. Okay, a new number of shares, correct? See now what I tell you. See here. This preference shares, which were total of 40,000, are convertible. Okay. Converted in the ratio of, or usually they write like this, conversion ratio 2:3. Now what does it mean? Conversion ratio 2:3. Anyone? Achha, if I write 1:1, then so usually now it is read from behind. Okay, 1:1 means for every 1 share you get 1 share. Now if it's like 2/3, okay, Now, what does it mean? For every 3 shares, it is always read from the last. Okay. For every 3 shares, you get 2. Okay. For every 3 shares, there are 2. So, how many shares you had? 40,000. Okay. So you had 40,000 shares. Now, how much you will get additional? Cross multiplication 2 into 40 divided by 3. Okay. This is the additional shares that you have got. Okay. This is the additional. So what is the total number of shares now? For every 3 shares, you have got 2 shares. So what is the total amount of shares now? Can anyone tell me? Is it 67? मतलब तुम्हारे पास 3 थे तो तुमको 2 मिले. Is it 70,000? 67,000? Think again. तुम्हारे पास 40,000 शेयर मतलब 3 थे. It has been converted into 2. See, it is not a bonus, huh? It is not a bonus. चलो now how to back calculate this कि ये 66 है या 26 है. How to back calculate it? Okay. What was the value per share? 5. Value per share was 5. Correct? Okay. Should the total value change? तो तुमने 2 लाख रुपए दिए थे एंड तुमको 2 लाख रुपए के ही शेयर होने चाहिए ना. Am I right? Had 2 lakh rupees with you. 40,000 per share was 5, so you got 2 lakh rupees. Okay. Now, what is the value of an equity share now? Sorry. So, should 2 lakh change? Should the 2 lakh value change? मतलब you have invested 2 lakhs. तो सिर्फ मैं split करूँ तो तुम्हारा value बढ़ जाएगा क्या? Will it? तुम्हारा investment value बढ़ जाएगा. I'm just converting it, right? So, ideally 2 lakh should remain same, correct? 2 lakh should remain same. Am I right? Acha, what will happen to the price of the share? Price will increase or price will decrease? Think. मतलब जैसे तुम्हारे पास 3 शेयर थे उसके मैंने 2 पार्ट्स किए, 2 मिले तुमको. तुम्हारे शेयर्स बढ़े या तुम्हारे शेयर्स कम हुए? What exactly is it? Value should be the same, correct? Value should be the same. Now my question is whether should I write 66,000 या 3 के मेरे 2 हुए. मेरे 3 के शेयर्स 2 हुए ना. 3 शेयर्स थे मेरे 2 हुए. सो कहने से मेरे 40,000 शेयर्स थे वो हुए कितने? 2667 हुआ है. वो डबल नहीं हुआ है बिकॉज दिस इज कन्वर्ट हुए हैं तुम्हारे शेयर्स. कमिंग ऑन टू दैट कि ये 2/3 कन्वर्ट हुए हैं. ठीक है. व्हेन आई से दैट 1:1 था तो तुम्हारे 5,000 40,000 शेयर्स और 40,000 तुमको कन्वर्ट हो गए हैं. जैसे ऐड नहीं हुए. दिस इज नॉट दैट स्प्लिट एंड बोनस वाला पार्ट. दैट इज व्हाई आई केम ऑन टू इट कि एक था तुमको एक मिला तो कितने थे? 40,000 थे तो 40,000 मिले. करेक्ट. इट इज डबल. डबल नहीं हुआ तो 80,000 शेयर्स नहीं मिले तुमको. सिया 40,000 शेयर्स तुम्हारे प्रेफरेंस से इक्विटी में कन्वर्ट हो गए. तो अभी वही रेशियो था. इट वाज 3/2. तुम्हारे सॉरी 2/3. This is the most important, confusing part. I also get confused at times. 2/3. तुम्हारे, so it is read from the last one कि you had 3 shares, now it is converted into 2, मतलब तुम्हारे 3 शेयर 2 में, तो obviously तुम्हारा, you know that the stock price will decline. Correct. Stock price will the stock number of shares will decline. And वो क्यों हो रहा है? Because it is from preference से equity में जा रहा है. Okay. The new number of shares is 26,667. It is 26,667. So remember that. Okay. Because it is the additional shares that has been. तो face value कितनी होगी? If this is 26,667 हो गए, तो obviously now the price should have increased. अभी now ये pricing का method नहीं आता है, because this is not split and bonus, because your entire shares is converted into equity shares. So nothing happens on the price. Ideally 26,667 is been converted into so new number of shares now added. कितने हो गए? अच्छा, okay, I will again. Okay, I will tell it again. See, convert हो रहा है. Okay, you are now converting. Okay, and now tell me, as an investor हम बात कर रहे थे. As an investor, okay, as an one who invest into in the business, okay, which investor is prefer, equity shareholders or preferences? Which are the preferred one? मतलब preferred as an investor, अगर तुम्हारी कंपनी है तो which you will like? Would you like the owner or would you like a preference one? वैसे प्रेफरेंस को वोटिंग राइट्स नहीं होता है. इस प्रेफरेंस को वोटिंग राइट्स नहीं होता ना. नहीं, खुद का कंपनी है, तुम्हारे खुद की कंपनी. If you have your own company, guys, if you have your own company, preference shares is for people who don't want to own the company. It is your own company. Because preference shares go, no, what happens? You don't get the voting rights. ना मेन तो वही था. Preference shares का, it is different. You don't get the voting rights. As a company owner, it should be equity. Now there are some other people. Can I say these are other people who are not interested? But now you are saying that since now they want to get convert, so the conversion ratio is 2:3. So it is read from the behind कि अगर मेरे पास 3 शेयर है तो तुमको 2 मिलेंगे. कौन से 2? इक्विटी शेयर. इक्विटी 2 में अगर तुम्हारे पास 3 प्रेफरेंस है, यू विल गेट 2 कॉमन. यू विल नॉट ऐड ना, वो स्प्लिट नहीं हो रहा है. रिमेंबर, वो स्प्लिट एंड ऑल कंसेप्ट अलग है. दिस इज कन्वर्जन. So how much more you will get? 40 plus ही इतना दे दिया तो it will, if I see this ratio, वो तुम्हारा 40 plus 26 तो तुम्हारा इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर से ज्यादा पैसे हो जाएंगे तुम्हारे पास. तो can this happen? मतलब if I split conversion ratio, if I keep it even is to 1:1, तो 40,000 additional shares हो जाएंगे. तो you will be at par with the common owner. तो वैसा नहीं होगा. So what will happen? For every 3 shares, you will get 2 shares. So if you have 100 shares, so you will get 100 to 2 divided by, you will get 66 shares. Common equity shares तुमको मिलेंगे. So you are saying, what if I have 2 shares? You will get 1.33. So usually you don't get 1 point, you get 1 share. Like that. Okay. 100 shares है, so you will get, so what, how much shares we have? Preference shares were 40,000. वो convert हो गए कितने? 3 के shares 2 में convert हो गए. So now it is 26,000. So this is the number of shares that you are added in the common equity shareholders. Don't add 20. इतना नहीं मिला तुमको, convert हो गए सिर्फ shares. Convert हो गए मतलब from, let's say you have converted. अच्छा, this classic example, तुम्हारी Mercedes मारुति में convert करना है. ठीक है, Mercedes को मारुति में, you have to convert your Mercedes into Maruti. Sorry, other way around. Maruti into Mercedes. This is a Mercedes. Okay, and you are to convert your Maruti into Mercedes. So would you pay? अच्छा, let's say I am converting now, तो मैं पूरा का Mercedes इतना दे दूंगा कि Mercedes के वैल्यू से भी ज्यादा हो जाएगा. Is it the exchange offer that I will give? Will I give that exchange offer? तो that is what you are saying कि ऐड हो जाएगा उसमें. एक्सचेंज हुआ है ना, एक्सचेंज हुआ है ना. तुम मुझे बताओ, मारुति का एक्सचेंज वैल्यू कितना था? 10 लाख. क्या आएगा मर्सिडीज का 10 लाख में? What happened? What you will get in 10 lakhs? The tire of Mercedes. 4 wheels, correct. You will get that 4 wheels of Mercedes. So obviously it will always be lower because you are converting it. It will never be more than the shares issue. Conversion ratio ऐसे है कि तुम्हारे पास 3 थे तो will give you 2 because you have already received the benefit. Correct. You have surrendered the preference shares, correct. Right way. You have surrendered the preference shares and you have got the equity shares. तो add नहीं होगा कभी. Remember that. Will never get added. So what is the number of preference shares now? Now the common share is now 26. Now assuming this is all done on the first day of it. This is all is done on the first day. Okay. 26,000. Now, so what is the total number of shares now? Again, preference convert into equity. Preference are converted into equity. Now I just want one question. Now new number of shares. New number of shares. 57 plus 26,000. That is 80,000. Okay. 80,000. Okay. 417. So now should my EPS change? Should my EPS change? Now there are new number of shares. So obviously the number of shares is now 80,000. So my EPS, what was the previous EPS? Okay, I will keep it like this. First. EPS before conversion, okay. EPS after conversion. After conversion from preference to equity. See, here also I have written before because nothing has converted. It is issued. New shares were issued. Okay. Now, what will be the EPS after conversion? Can I say profit? What was my profit? Profit available with common shareholders. Divide by total number of new shares. New share after conversion. New share after conversion. Is it right? No, assuming it was done on the last day. Okay. Assuming it was done on the last day. So what changes we have to do now? Is it right over here after conversion? This EPS, now this number of shares are totally fine. We have found a new number of shares. But here now do you tell me what is the profit available with common shareholders? Is it 9 lakh 80 or is it 10 lakh now? Yeah, now it is 10 lakh. Why? Why it is 10 lakh? Is because now since the preference shares are converted into equity shares, so you don't have to pay the preferred dividend. You don't have to pay the preferred dividend. So probably your new EPS, you should not take the C15, you should not take 9 lakh 80. The new EPS is usually 10 lakh. So there was hardly a difference, but still there is a difference. Yeah, so there is no preference income only now. Since it is converted, this will not go. So this we found out when there was an companies were, at that time, dividends were given. So what is the difference before conversion, after conversion? Before conversion is called basic EPS. And after conversion is called dilative EPS. But this is the only difference between basic and dilutive. Only difference between basic and dilutive. There is no other difference. Achha, preference shares can be converted, debentures can be converted, ESOPs can be also given, that your EPS is dilutive. Why? Now let's say new shares are issued. Okay. Now this is your dilutive EPS. This is your, it only happens after conversion. Something is converted. Okay. Issuance of new share is not said to be conversion. See, issuance of new share. See, why didn't I take it? Why did I wrote over here before conversion? But in this, I have taken 53,000, which is a part of new shares also outstanding. Remember that whenever dilutive, what is the basic and dilutive is, as I've written over here, after conversion, something is been converted. Something is been converted. Then only you say dilutive. Because new securities are added. New securities are added without any cash inflow. Was there any cash inflow in the company? Was there any cash inflow in the company? There was no cash inflow in the company. What happened is that, now if I talk about the new equity share capital, what will be new equity share capital? It's just that, see, face value will not change. Huh? New equity face value will be 10 and number of shares issued. Total number of shares we had is 50,000 plus 2267. So ideally your equity share capital will increase to 7,66,000 because now number of shares is been added. So this is how, so new number of shares, there is no change on the face value, only number of shares has been added. So whenever this kind of things happen, because there is no impact on any other statements, it is just a balance sheet, new things are converted. So now what happens in this case? Now there are more number of shares, and because of more number of shares, your ownership gets diluted. Right now, your ownership gets, let's say you only have 50,000 shares, but now what is the total number of shares? You were an 100% owner. See, you were an 100% owner. Now suddenly you are 65% owner. Would you like these things to happen? Would you like these things to happen? So conversion is taken. See, in your own company, you became an 65% owner doing nothing just because things were calculated. It was recalculated. So because of this reason, because of this, that EPS, is one of the important aspect of, dilutive EPS. However, the next year will be start from 12. But basic and dilutive, that is because if there is a big difference between basic and dilutive, it means your shareholding is dilutive. It is diluting. Number of shares are added. That is usually a pain for the company. Pain for the company. I think from an investor point of view, from owner's point of view, the company, now your ownership is diluted. No one likes this. No one likes this. No, equity cannot be converted into preferences. Only the preference are converted into equity. We are still the owner, Alok, but the problem is now we are only 65%. First, we were 50% owner. Entire was our company because they were preferences. That's what, nothing happened on the stock price. Stock price, nothing happens. There's no impact on the stock price. Because only what has happened, number of shares are converted. This is a problem for conversion. Okay. So that is a huge problem when there is a conversion. Only new number of shares, suddenly the number of shares have increased. That is called before conversion, after conversion, basic and dilutive. Okay. Basic and dilutive. Now don't forget this. Basic and so dilutive shares. Now, who are dilutive securities? Now, what are doing? Dilutive means they are usually diluting your main profits. Means you were getting 18 rupees. Now you will only get 12 rupees because now new number of shares has been added. Okay. The stock price, sorry, I forgot. The stock price will change accordingly because obviously numbers of shares are added. The stock price, whatever the current market is, it will change accordingly. That we'll talk now. How will that change? New shares are added, so that is an issue. Okay. Now let's come on to that bonus and split. Okay. What is meant by bonus and split? This is different now. Okay. That was conversion. You converted one part into another. This is bonus. You get, acha, bonus means more shares or less shares? Bonus means obviously it means you are getting something more. You are getting something more. Acha, split means the reason I'm just asking, split means what? Bonus is obviously addition. The reason I'm telling you because I want to show you some form, not formula, but a concept. Something has been added. In split, is anything added? Divide. Or maybe just split. Divide correctly. It will add and this will be split. I will write it this way. Reason I will tell you. Divide and split. Okay. Bonus has been addition. So something, when you say any ratio, it should be added. Okay. Split is divide. Something has been divided, or I will say multiply. Okay. See, I will see, split also means add also. You get add, but it is your shares are been split. So in both the cases, probably it doesn't impact the shareholders' value. In bonus and split, it doesn't impact the shareholders' value. Achha, first, what is the difference between bonus and split? Anyone? Bonus versus split. Why it is bonus? Why it is split? See, the criteria is same. Both are done to reduce the stock price. Okay. Both are done to reduce the stock price. Both. Now, what is the second difference? Why bonus and why not a split? And why a split? What is? Okay, face value changes in. I don't want. I would just want a random layman terms. Okay, let's say I am a business owner. Should I give a bonus or should I split my stock? My purpose is to, because my stock is at, let's say, 10,000 rupees per share. I want to reduce it to 5,000 or let's say lower. So you as an advisor, give me, should I split or should I bonus? Now you tell me. And why? And why? Bonus is extra profit, split, same value, correct. Okay. Close enough. See, now we'll take it more granular. I am a business owner. I don't understand. I just understand that I have to reduce the stock price. Okay. So you give me an advice that should I give a bonus or should I should I split my shares? How will split bring more investors? Tell me from a fundamental point of view. Okay. From a qualitative point of view, not from quantitative point of view. No, we said qualitative. In Hindi, if I tell, मुझे क्या फायदा होगा? या मेरे investors को क्या फायदा होता? Now tell me what is the difference. Will the perception change with bonus or with split? What is the perception? Bonus, bonus doesn't mean that it is giving number of different shares. It doesn't mean that. He is giving his own share. New shares are issued. In both cases, new shares are issued. In split, you don't have the issue to additional new shares. Okay, fine. Bonus is given from reserves. Increase liquidity is increase in both the thing. So the main reason is whenever you give bonus, it is a replica of dividends. Can I say that? Instead of giving dividends, they are giving bonus shares. So it increases confidence in investors that company is reducing its price by giving us bonus, and this is replicated. Your reserves and surplus get impacted because it is you pay from your profit. You pay from profits. You pay from your profits. In split, it is nothing. It is usually done for regulatory requirements that you want more number of shareholders. It recently happened in your Kotak Bank. That Kotak Bank, they should have minimum number of different shareholders. So what they did is they split the share so that number of shareholders increase. They didn't want to give any bonus, or this is usually a corporate event. This is usually purpose event. It's also corporate action, but it is with a purpose. It has no purpose. Okay. Nothing purpose. Reducing the stock price, both the purpose are okay. But if you don't want to give more dividends, you want to give more profits, but you still have to reduce the stock price, then this is what you give. In both, number of shares increases, EPS gets diluted. The EPS reduces, obviously. So it is not a dilutive. Huh? Securities are not dilutive. Nothing has been converted. So it is not called dilutive. It's just that number of shares are increased, so EPS have declined. It is not dilutive. Dilutive are usually different securities which dilute your majority shareholders. So always remember, bonus is something both reduces the price, both reduces the equity, both increases the liquidity. But the purpose is to build a confidence on the investors that okay, we are giving bonuses means we are paying from our profits. And split are usually done for regulatory requirements, basically. Or else you don't have to give any profit to the shareholders. It's just that we split our stock so that the stock price reduces. Okay, now what is the difference between bonus of 3:2, okay, and split of 3:2? Okay. What is the major difference? Okay, now I will tell you. Okay. Let us say the stock price, keep it simple. Stock price was 100, number of shares outstanding was 50. Very important corporate action, because this I had faced a problem when I was on job. That time my manager told me, Rishabh, you don't even get this. I think you have not even cleared CFA exam. He started doubting on me. So what is the total market value of the company? Market value. Means this was the first thing, that the stock price was 100 and number of shares were 50. The total market value was 5,000. Now what I did is, company gave a bonus of 3:2. So we'll start with first bonus. Okay. Bonus was 3:2. Now I want an answer. What will be the stock price? Okay, because number of shares will increase, correct? And stock price should reduce, but the market value should remain the same. Okay. Just give me the answer for bonus and for split. Is it same? Yes or no? I want an answer. Okay. Those who don't know, fine. But those who can try, just try doing it. See, you think equity research is easy, but when this kind of question comes now, in technical round, it becomes a pain to clear these rounds. Suddenly someone asks me, what is the difference between split and bonus? And you are learning all valuation, WAC, DCF and all, and you don't know what is the difference between a corporate action, because these corporate actions are very common. You should know first of all, what is the impact on the P&L statement, on the balance sheet. Split on bonus, and then all valuation come when you know dilutive and all. So this is very difficult. But though NISM, you think that clearing NISM exam will make you an analyst, I give you a question, because these questions are not asked in NISM exams. Can anyone try who have cleared the exam and have just come? What is the difference? What should be the stock price when there is a bonus, and what should be the stock price when there is a split? Is it same? How many of you feel it is same? Rahul has given an answer. Okay, Rahul, can you tell your calculation, what you did for this? Every time ChatGPT will not be, help you get the answer. Okay, if you are using it, for every 2 shares, we get 3 shares, fine. Okay, still Rahul is answering. I will give you one easier way of doing this. Okay. Achha guys, first of all, this is not same. This is not same. Though the ratios are same, this is actually not the same case. Because numbers can be different. I'm just giving you an trick to find this. Okay. Now, whenever you get something like this, whether it is bonus or split, bonus, I said it is an addition. We just now said it is an addition. And split is like divide. Okay. Means something has been added and something has been divided. Okay. Now in divide, I will make a bracket multiply as well. Okay. From a trick perspective. Okay. Now I'll tell you how it is. Whenever you get something like this, always divide 3 by 2. Whatever number is. Whatever 1:2, 5:8, 17:18, whatever it is, just divide 3 by 2. Okay. In both. Now I have spent a lot of time, as Rahul is answering, he might know the concept well, but sometimes, when the numbers are difficult, 17 by 59, I saw one of the issues in US was 17 raised to 59. Something like this, 17 by 59. Crazy now. Becomes, crazy to understand what is the impact on the stock price. So what I do, first step, divide 3 by 2. Whatever the number is, 3 by 2, 3 by 2. Okay. Now, stock price will decline because it's a bonus. We know this. And number of shares will increase. Am I right? Am I right? So I make an adjustment. Okay. Since it was an addition, what I will do is I will add 1 plus 5. Since it was an addition. Okay. See what I do? Since it was an addition, I will use 1 by 0.5. Okay. This is my adjustment ratio. Okay. My adjustment ratio. Since it is a bonus, so I will add 1.5. Okay. So now stock price will increase or decrease? Stock price will increase or decrease? Obviously, because there are more number of shares, obviously price will decrease. Correct. So I know 100 will be lower than 100. So should I multiply with this number or divide with this number? 2.5. Adjustment. Do an adjustment. Actually, I will divide. So I got the price. Now this is a trick that I have developed. So Rahul also said the same thing. This is an adjustment I do when it is bonus. Adjustment when I do when it is bonus. So number of share, sorry, the stock price will be 40. Because now what happens? Usually, practically, no one asks you number of shares because number of shares are huge. Because as in the stock market, we always talk about the price. Because when there's a bonus, because we are holding the stock, now we need to know. One day we were talking, we were now making a tracker in our classes. What happened? One of the student, MBA finance student, we were tracking Varun Beverages. I told her, find the returns of Varun Beverages on a monthly basis from last 1 year. Okay, every month, what was the change? Suddenly, I saw some 65% downside. The stock had declined 65%. And she had mentioned it, sir, this was the change. Sorry, guys. There was some sorry, guys. Connectivity issue. Sorry. MBA finance student said this, that sir, there was a 65% decline in the stock price. She was my intern. I went mad at her. You don't understand finance. You don't understand stock prices. How can you say there was a 65% decline in a large cap stock like Varun Beverages? Is it possible anytime, guys, can kiss this kind of decline? In one day? Sir, now how to adjust? I will do it practically. Because she was also NISM cleared, NISM research analyst exam clear. She didn't understand, sir, how to adjust. Now I told her, adjust the price and tell me the return. Adjust the price and tell me the monthly return. Sir, how to do? I have never done it. Exam though I know ratios and all I can find. I can, because it is all formula based. No? 3/2. Now adjust the price before. I will show you. I will give you that example. Varun, simple example, Varun Beverages. And you tell me what was the error. Okay. What should it be? What should change? But now, before that, I will give you some adjustment. And then you give me the change. Okay. Now what happens? Now, since adjustment ratio, it is bonus. Huh? See, I'm talking about bonus. I am just now talking about bonus. This is the problem, I face while hiring even interns. So at that time, I get so frustrated कि अरे इनको मैं ये सब बताते बैठूं अभी. You are there, interns are there to make your work a bit easy. See, what was my work for her? Ki I just told her, find the returns of Varun Beverages for last 1 year. Data punching role. That also you cannot punch it in the right way. Do you think that I will recommend her to any of my colleagues ever? I don't care whether you are from any college. If my colleague feels that this is how your students are, then and the problem is, these all things are not taught in modeling. Financial modeling, you don't teach these all things. Obviously, this is a concept that you need to know. If you are an MBA finance, you are a CFA or a CA, I expect these all things from you. But since you have never done it before, you don't understand. And ratios are not that simple. I will show you the ratios as well. Okay, now what we do is, okay, the adjustment ratio 2.5. As the number of shares should increase or decrease? Obviously, it will increase. Obviously, it will increase. So what I do is, I multiply by directly with the adjustment ratio. With that, and what did I do in adjustment? Okay, I will write it for your benefit, +1. If you want, +1. Okay, that's okay. Always remember this, only for splits. Only for bonuses. 125, correct? If I do this, 40 into 125, I will get the answer. Isn't it easy? Whatever ratio you take, this will be the stock price. And what you did for the stock price, what if the stock price was 5,000? What should be the next price? What should I do? I know the ratio. Split was 3/2. What should I do? We'll create for you 3/2 so that you don't Excel file, you just change the number. 3/2 is 3 divided by 2. That's it. Sorry. 3 divided by, you just change the price, change it to 5,000. Automatically it will tally. Excel, don't have to use your brains. Once the formulas are put, and it is not formulas, it is a trick that I will tell you. Because those all things become difficult, as Rahul did. Rahul also did it. Rahul, you did it very perfectly fine. The problem is, when the numbers are big, it becomes difficult. I don't use my brains a lot in this. I have found this trick, 3/2, got it. Since it is a bonus, I will use an adjustment. But in split, since it is not an addition, I will keep it as it is. As a price will increase or decrease? Decrease. Obviously, we know split, so obviously it is divided. So we will divide it. There's no adjustment in that. 66.66 will be the price. And what about the number of shares? So number of shares increase or decrease? Let us see if it's telling. Sorry. Isn't it easy? And now the question I ask over here, see here. The question is asked, what is the number of shares that has been added in bonus? What is the number of shares that has been added in bonus? What is it? Here in this, obviously you. Now, अभी ये इतना तो दिमाग थोड़ा लगाओ please, क्योंकि question 125 shares are not added, 75 shares are added. So when you do that EPS calculation, you don't add 125, you add 75 shares, more 75. Obviously, you get the total number, but still I'm saying, how many new shares are added? So in NISM, basically they ask you this question, how many new shares are added? So sir, it is not 125, it is 75. And here, how much are added? It is 25 shares are added. Abhi itna to yaad rakhna, please. I have given you the trick to do it. Now, this all tricks, I have done it because we play with a lot of data, and that time it becomes very difficult to find exactly split kya hua. I will show you once again. I'll show you live when before. Everyone clear? Any doubts before we move on to live part? Splits and bonuses, corporate actions. Everyone clear? Irrelevant, Ashok. Now, date of issues is irrelevant now. Cannot take it. That is fine. Split mein, there is a change in the face value. Okay. So what happens to the face value? What happened to the face value? 3/2. Face value will increase or decrease? Face value will decrease. If it was 10, into 3/2. Same, sorry. Face value will become 6.667. Fine. More same pricing only, no? Price. Divided by 1.5. We know it will decline. How much by 6.66? Okay. Fine. Face value will decline. That is in the split. Usually they say that 2 has become 10. This is the split. Let's say this is the split. Sorry. face value from 10 to 2. What is the ratio? 1 by 10. That is, sorry, 2 by 10 is the ratio. It has been split. So usually split ratio is given. Okay, how much is the split? What is the split ratio? See, if this is given, then it becomes very easy. 10 face value becomes 2. What is the stock price? 100. Straight away, you don't have to do any changes over here. Straight away, there's cross multiplication. If that is given, it becomes very easy. 20. This is just cross multiply. If it's given, it's just given that 5 times. Obviously, stock will decline 5 times. So, if split ratio is given, very best. But what if it's not given? Usually the split is given this way, 3:2. Okay. Achha, for bonus is adjustment. Rest all there is no adjustment. It is directly divided by 1/5. Now I will give you to the corporate recent corporate actions. Okay. Recent stock split in India. Okay. Okay. I will tell you of the Container Corp, which was the recent one. Okay. Because there's a listed company, it was a recent one. Load once again. Any companies that you see which is the recent one announced which is split. Okay, split. Well, first we'll talk about bonus. Okay. First we'll talk about bonus. Okay. 1:2. So 1:2. What should you do now? 1:2. What will you do? See, 1 by 1 is very easy. It's double and half. This was bonus. Mothers and Sumi, let us say, but this is Sumi writing. Let's give you one more part, which was Container Cool copy. Yeah, this is a listed one. 1 by 4. Okay, 1 by 4, it happened on 24th June. Go to NSE. One second. Go to NSE. 1 by 4. It happened on 24th June. Okay. You help me get the answer. Or analyst now, help me get an answer. 24th June. Okay. April. Let's say, okay, filter. See. 4th July. No, sorry. 3rd. When was it? 4th July. Sorry, ex-dividend was on 4th July. Okay, record was on 4th July. 748. We'll talk about the close price, previous close. Close. Okay, 745. Now tell me what should be the price on, how did it come to 597? Tell me. Get me this price. Our price was, lowest price was 745. Okay. See, yeah. What happened? Bonus. What was the bonus ratio? 1 by 4. So what do you do? 1 divided by 4. And what adjustment that you put? 1 plus point, whatever it is, 1 plus 0.25. Correct? 1 plus whatever the ratio is. This is my adjustment ratio. Now, what was the price? 545. No? Sorry, 745. Sorry. 745 was the price. What should you do? What should you do? Price, we know it will reduce. 745 divided by 596. Got the price. 596.97 approximate. It's close. Approximate 590. Got it? Now what you will do for this numbers now? Tell me what was the return. Huh? See here. I just download this for you guys. Because the same thing I had given to one of the intern. Okay, the same thing I had given to one of the intern. You know what happened? She did it the right way. And I told her, give me the daily's return. Okay. Days written. See, are doing it. So actually we do delete this all. Okay, days written. Okay, I don't want the high low. Okay, the close price. Okay. Daily return. I'm just finding the daily return. Okay, so what I can do is I can filter it. Do it from oldest to newest. Okay. In 1st April. We'll start from over here. Returns on 1st April. Okay. And divide by last price. Second. Start from over here. 13%. 1% return. And I just drag it down. Okay. Suddenly, I see a 19% drop. So what I told one of my intern that, what was the difference between 29 July and 29 April? Okay, April, May, June, July, 4 months. So she says at 29th April, the price was 687 and 29 July, the price was 592. Sir, there was a decline in the stock price, 13%, 14% decline in 3 months. I asked, what happened in the stock? 14% decline? Because it strike me, what happened suddenly? 14% decline in the stock price in 3 months. Did anything happen in this company? Now, is it the right way to do? What adjustment should I do? What was the exact end? Guys, can you tell? 29th April to 29th July. A basic error by an MBA finance student. And you say, I'm a finance graduate. Because you have clear NISM exams and you have never worked on practical stuff. That is why we should make models. You should have a mentor. Then you tell, work under someone so that you understand. These all things, obviously, I am not going to teach. Forget about a manager is going to teach you all these things. There are many different things to do. What is the returns? Anyone can tell me the return now? Number of shares are fine. Number of shares, what you will do is multiply. No, Ritik, you will just multiply. Whatever number of shares are outstanding. Because in stock price, number of shares are not important because उनके पास करोड़ों में shares होते हैं. वो थोड़े से बढ़ गए तो क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? Main happen in the stock price because we are an investor. Arshal is saying 7.7. What you did, Arshal? Get 7.7. What did you adjust? 25th April number or 22nd, 29th July number? Guys, what should I do? 4th April line or 4th July? Everything changed from over here. This was the price. 4th July, everything changed. So what you should do for above numbers? Is it right to say, if I talk about 1 month return, no, Arshal, we will not change this number. We will not change this number because this is live numbers. No? These are historical numbers. So we will change the historical numbers. So what I will do is, what we did, divide by, obviously the price will decline, no? 1.25. The price was 549. If we divide, correct, the price was 549. Now what was the returns? Was not a decline. It was actually an 7.7% increase. So we need to adjust all the numbers. What I will do is 1.25, I will put it over here and I will divide. I will divide till over here. Divide all the divide and I will change the number like this. Now I will get an exact return. Why I do this? One more reason why I do this. If I don't do this, okay, if I don't do this, okay, and I put a, because usually we do a bar chart over here, line chart, sorry, just to understand what is the stock price movement. Okay, this is the live chart. Suddenly we see a dip over here, a huge dip. Question comes, why is that a dip over here? What is the reason? Why there is a dip? Can you explain? Can you explain this dip? Because when you make charts, obviously this is the dip. This is still, it's looking a small, but let me change the numbers. I will not take it from 0. I will take it from, let's say, 400, 300. Even 400. But that's when if I change this, you see there is a huge dip. Is it right? The stock had declined this much? Stock had declined? No. So what was the returns? You are saying the sir, the stock had been 700. Now it is, around 590. No, you need to now, when you have this call thing, you just have to copy, and even the betas will go wrong if you calculate beta with the pricing. When you calculate beta, na, those who have done financial modeling, beta calculation, this is how you change it. Divide. Now you get an exact figure, exact chart. No decline, no one time. This is how you change your previous numbers. These are all adjustments that you do, and this only happens when you work on a regular basis with a mentor and all. So that happens at, obviously, if you are worked, if you have a good mentor and he must have taught you this all things. But financial modeling, when you learn on YouTube and all, problem is it has been, quickly done. Courses are done because everyday things come differently. Now this was bonus. Now let's talk about split. Okay. Oh, we have out of time, but okay, I will tell you. I am not in a hurry. Along, we are changing because there was a bonus issue now. Stock had declined. Was it a decline? 19%. See, now we have come up with a split. So now let's go into split. Okay. Split any company which is a regular company, it's an NSE, Bajaj Finance, okay. 2:1. Bajaj Finance 2:1. Split, now it is a split. Let's say what was the date? 16th, okay, recent one. 16th June. Bajaj Finance, okay. Now you tell me, I am not gonna change 16 June, okay, historical data will talk from, okay, 1st June. Okay. 16 June, 938 became 924. Okay. Sorry, yeah. Previous close, 9,368. 9,368. 9,368. There was a split. So there is a bonus and a split. Oh, okay. So we'll avoid this. Okay. We'll talk about Coforge. Okay. We'll talk about Coforge. Okay. There was a bonus and a split. So it will, okay, we'll talk about Coforge. Coforge split was on 4th June. Okay. Previous close was 8585. 8585. And you tell me the price. Coforge 10:2 split. So now that they have given directly. 10 became 2. What is the split? Split becomes easy if the ratio is not given. 10 became 2. It's clearly 1:5. Directly it is cross multiplication. There's nothing. Split is not an issue over here. 1717. Let's see if that is the price. Yeah, 1717, approximate number. Okay. If there's a split ratio is not given. Okay. But if you get a split ratio, remember to do such kind of things. Okay. It's very easy. 5:1. And if ratio is given, then okay. B. It can also be done in this way. 2/10. So you know what is the ratio over here? 1/5 is the ratio, you know. This is the split. Talk about the split. But if you get a ratio, you do it that way. Splits are very easy. So, but what is the number of shares increase over here? Now that is the problem. Now what is this number of shares increase? तो हो गया. And it same as 5x. It is same as there is no change in that. Number of shares will increase. There's no change in that. Okay. 10/2 straight away. (10/2) multiply by number of shares. Splits are very easy. Bonus wasn't problem. Okay. Fine now. Here now, see here. Why did I show all this about bonus? Because of this. 29/50. Now you use all your brains over here that what will be the change in the stock price and all. The problem is 50 shares the 79 ho gaye ya 29 the 50 ho gaye. You have got 50 shares. It becomes a pain to do such kind of ratios. So I don't use my brains. What I do is 29 straight away. 29 divided by 50. And I know should be +1. That's it. I got my adjustment ratio. Now I can do any changes, any company, anything, any ratios, I don't care. This is the formula that I use. 1/4 or 4/1. Huge problem. See, here it is 4/1. Here it is 1/4. What is the difference? Huge difference. 3/2, 17/25. Ujas energy. Check this. Ujas energy. When did it happen? 30 May. Two. Is not listed. Sure whether it is data are not available. Fine. But if you get this kind of questions in interviews, so never hesitate. This is the answer that you give. Fine. Now bonuses, splits, dilutive, basic EPS, all these things are not to be learned again. Ever. Not to be learned again ever. Bonuses, corporate action. These are the major corporate actions which happens. Right issue is also there. Right issue is nothing but raising a capital. But these are dividend yield, bonus shares, splits, a number of your convertible shares, dilutive, basic, plus dividend. Yeah, this we did it. Dividend yield, EPS. EPS also weighted average number of shares. How to find weighted average number of shares. Apart from that, from this topic, this should never come as an MBA student, as a CFA student. If you get this kind of question in exams or technical rounds, you should be able to do it quickly. That's why I will say this is not an exam focused class. कि वो ना that exam तो तुम रट्टा मार के भी पास हो सकते हो. कुछ मतलब नहीं है वो एग्जाम पास होके. Research analyst exam will not have any value to it. Add value to your exams. Not only writing research analyst exams, I have clear. Because the girl I was talking about, she was also analyst, research analyst exam clear. Never done this kind of problems. Okay, fair enough. Any doubts? I will open the floor for questions. Any doubts? Can reach out to me. No, Rahul, they cannot split further. There is a problem of split. If they have face value of 1, they cannot split. So bonus is the only option remaining with them. Okay. Okay. Any doubts, guys? I've opened. You can unmute yourself. Any doubts, let me know, or else we'll wrap it up. Any doubts? In the next class, we will talk about more details into intrinsic value, market value, enterprise value, WACC, and some ratios. Not WACC, okay. Some ratios we'll talk about. P ratios, ROE. Fine. Okay. 2.5 Vignesh कैसे आया वो बोला ना 1 प्लस ये ऐड करना 1 प्लस तुम्हारा रेशियो ऐड करना.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
ये 1.5 कैसे है 3/2. तो जो भी है उसको क्योंकि वो बोनस है ना तो हमेशा एक ऐड चीजें ऐड होती है. Okay. A reverse split is very uncommon, Harshal, at least in the Indian markets. Achha, the case is where the stock price is too low. It become 10 rupees stock. Let's say, what if SBI is trading at 10 rupees? People will not like, 10 rupees stock. They split it, reverse split it. And you have to increase the value of your stock. And you have to increase the value of your stock. Splits and bonuses are done to reduce the value, but the reverse split is done to increase the value of the stock. Same ulta. 100 ka, 40 ka, you do it 2.5x to 100. Same ratio, 3:2 bonus, sorry, split. Just multiply with the ratio. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye bye, sir. Good night.
Bye. Good night.